Hello there, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Plains of Providence Quest RPG campaign here on Heroes Without Limits. We are blessed today in having a full cast. We have our
Woo!
fantastic, lovely Inez back, who was sorely missed for what was an episode of
An
last week.
experience.
An experience is a way of putting it.
I'm not scared at all.
Yes, we will get into the recap of all of that and everything. But thank you everyone who is tuning in to this. What is our penultimate episode? As next week, if everyone is here and we're all in like a good enough state to do so, the finale is going to be happening. So this will be essentially the kind of calm before the storm lead up to the finale in a way.
I don't like it.
Because it's a
I feel like
penultimate
it's gonna be
episode. Calm down, all of you. Why do you
I feel like it's
always...
gonna be the storm before the storm.
Well,
Okay,
don't
I
ready for the
may
mega storm.
sound like I am sad about this sometimes, but I'm super excited.
Anyways, we'll get into just general content warnings because a lot of the big things will potentially come up in this. Not necessarily fun or enjoyable, but we're gonna... Don't worry. Jace having that face always makes me think of something terrible.
No, it's fine. It's just cars outside.
Oh, okay.
I'm
What
scowling.
have I
at them
done?
that
I
they
haven't
can't
even
see me.
said anything yet. Anyways, so we'll get into content warnings and a very extensive recap for the benefit of all of our players, but especially Inez, who is not here for a very massive confrontation and a lot of different things where your character almost died, by the way.
oh, how fun! Oh no!
Touch on
Yeah,
that in a
how
second.
fun. Get it?
Yeah.
How fun.
I'm back. I see.
I'm going
right.
to skip over that and just allow the players quickly to introduce themselves so we can get this going because we got a fair bit of things to get through today, actually, despite this being more of a rest sort of session. So whoever would like to just introduce themselves, pronouns, and who you're playing.
Yay!
Yeah. Who?
Go.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Go.
Because I missed last week, I think I should go first. It's fine. Hi everyone. I'm back. It's me, your friend Inez. It's so good to see you all again. Today I will be playing. Has it been 1 week and I miss her so much. Haurian, your now still very local. I hope we didn't like go somewhere that we were supposed to. Still very local. Buff elf, lesbian fighter, very lesbian. Well, bisexual. Let's say that. Yeah, she's very huge, very powerful, very fighty. And she will fuck you up, but also give you a big hug. So I'm excited to be back. I'm so excited.
She attack,
Yay.
but she also protects.
Yes, very much. Yes.
Next up,
Well, going off of that, I won't what was I gonna do? Oh yes. Hi guys, I'm Jen, pronouns she, her. I'm scattered today. Hello. I'll be playing your lovely, less than local right now, naturalist Serena. She is, let me think, sassy, usually reckless, and also quite thirsty.
Yes.
That's it. That's me.
Yes.
gaze upon my thirst. It's just like a waterfall. Carrying
Yeah,
on.
it really is.
Oh dear. Hey everyone, I am Jace, and I'm playing Farron. Both our pronouns are they, them, and we are going to be very caffeinated tonight. But yes,
Oh boy.
I will be playing your, once again now, not so local Valley Twink Ranger.
That's the best thing I've ever heard.
Oh, bless you. Bless you. That phrasing. Gabriel, you have to put yourself together just enough to actually say words. Hey, don't worry. I also am losing my metaphorical shit here, but I have the luxury of it's not my turn to talk, so have at it.
Damn it. Hi. I'm Gabriel. I am playing your currently emotionally unstable invoker.
Really invoke some emotions there.
Just one more session after this one. Just one more year. One more year. And for those of you who do not know me, I am Angela. I am the self-dubbed Fireburb guide here, or the GM role for the Quest RPG system. I help facilitate all of what happens to this group of individuals. There's no other words. I wanted to find other words. They're not coming to me at this moment. There's too many trying to fit through the door all at once. But anyways, with that being the case, we will jump into recap after I give a quick content warning in terms of the recap and also material that might be discussed here. So in general, there are elements of trauma, great kind of dancing back and forth around gaslighting, emotional manipulation, and controlling of other people's bodies as against their will. It is often checked in ahead of time, or just making sure that it's not going to a place that's too uncomfortable. And we make use of safety tools like XN and O in our chat in the event that things are going to too difficult of a place. And also there are already lines that have been established pre the game that we try and make use of as best we can to ensure that on my end, no material that folks just do not want to engage in, or material they'd rather just quickly pass over, is engaged with as thoughtfully as possible. Mistakes can happen, but that is where we're at with that. But general content warnings for all of those things. Elements of kind of body horror that lean more towards the cosmic horror end of things. So for if anyone would like a good media reference for what kinds of creatures might be described and such, just go look up the Gaping Dragon over in Dark Souls. That pretty much covers what you need to know about how some of the beings that the group has fought throughout this campaign and might still be dealing with in the immediate future. But there are also, I will note specifically, worms as well are likely to come up during this session and the final session. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, elements of water, potentially related trauma and such might come up. This is a potential because there's a lot of times where I will tend to go more improv for certain story beats. So giving a heads up about that, but that should cover the majority of the kinds of issues. And we also quite freely talk about mental health related issues and the effects that a lot the characters deal with as well. So all that out of the way, it's a very lengthy intro, but I want to try and take the time to be safe about this because these are our last two sessions. We move into session 13, Rest and Reveal. Last session, our party delved deep within the mountains of a warrior's downfall into the location known as the Hearth, a recently established burial ground for giant kin and giant clans that had been finding solace and shelter in a sort of sanctuary village that they had created through the union and leadership of the clan leaders. Delving into this place, they found themselves, I forget content warnings as well for insects, and insectoids are also a thing too. Is this often, and anything in the range of xenomorphs from aliens, before I keep going in the recap. Plunging into these tunnels and this location in the center of this mountain range, the group found themselves immediately overwhelmed with this overwhelming presence of astral ravagers everywhere. Not directly attacking them, but chasing them underneath in the walls, and essentially having created their own cavernous system and tunnel networks, think akin to like an ant colony. Arriving in the center room, the party met with a lead acolyte of the Apostles of Anathema, the foes attempting to, from what the group has discovered so far, bring into this world as the cycle for this phoenix, for this kindling is coming to its end. They hoped to bring forth a terrible being. The fight began, and Nim, given their connection to this unpleasant, profane creature, this arcane aberration, was in a way made to essentially be a font for its power and inflicted various effects on the party. The first of which was to remove half of their ability points at the very start of the combat. And as the group immediately tried to charge without thinking too much about what they were going to do, they were met also with a corrupted queen of the manticores. A fierce battle ensued, several pillars acting as fonts for the potential portal through which the master might be summoned, needing to be struck down, the leader needing to be taken out, the manticore, due to the various debuffs happening to the party, reaching a point of nearly felling one Howdian and prompting Jace, after their bow arm was disabled temporarily, to initiate full-on Assassin's Creed moments to the fullest of knocking out the manticore's wings with leaping with daggers and blades. Magic was flung, a conflict was had, damage was taken, and the party survived long enough to deal with the apostle. But not before discovering what had been the biggest bait and switch of this process. That, curiously, only one apostle had been here. This was not the ultimate goal of the apostles of Anathema. In fact, Chantico now lay open to attack. And so they make their way there now. But not before one additional attempt was made by the master to plunge through the very small elements of the portal and nearly taking Nim's life in the process of them attempting to save Howdian and others in an act of sacrifice and care for their friends. The master was held back, the pillars were destroyed, and the aid of one massive teenage parent white worm came when the Ravagers appeared to attempt to overwhelm the party once again. But now the group knows the name of their foe, the father of the abyss, of the void itself, rather. This being seeks Alia, the emissary to the consuming void that the party met way back in Chantico. But as we ended the session, the group received some moments to rest and some perhaps needed words of solace and reprimand from two divine sources, from Zahara, the primeval maiden, and from Ida, the Hearthkeeper herself. And now we pick up with the party again, though we go back a little bit in time. Howdian.
Yes.
We pick up to a moment in the conflict where you have flung your blade at the apostle, and just for fun, I let it slide that you blinked your blade into the apostle.
Yeah.
Because I felt like that was a very Howdian thing to do, and it was cool, therefore, the hell with the rules, that was too cool to just not be a thing Howdian would do. And move forward in time to, as the apostle lay slain, you've heard this threat of the master seeking another way to move into this realm. You see the image as the master's attempting to plunge their way through the portal of the beast. It stands before you, ready to strike you and your friends down, and you know that one attack will finish you. You are barely standing, your heart is beating rapidly, and there is such a weakening of all of your faculties in this moment. How does Howdian respond to seeing the beast again?
Damn. Does she have her sword?
She's still strong. Think of it basically you have no ability points, 2 health left. And the beast it's there. It's almost like all other things fade away and the beast is once again staring you down.
I think Hao's posture is very much like low to the ground. It's like one leg outstretched with the other knee bent at like a absolute like she's tired and she's going through it. And she has the sword in both her hands and it's kind of like pointing down towards the ground. She doesn't have it upright. And she stares at the beast and is quiet for a moment and says, I don't know what you are. I've never known. And I don't know if I want to know. You attacked everything I loved, everything I cared for. You will go down. Maybe not today, but soon. Soon you will see my revenge.
And as you say that, the beast, for a moment, takes a step back. And it's like everything snaps back. It's felt like a moment of, if you imagine in films when they have like a slowdown and then everything speeds back up, it's like all of the events continue to transpire as they did before. The master's flung back. Nim barely survives. Like we're talking, rolled a natural 20 in about to die and stayed on. You see the beast flung back. You hear the menacing voice speak of Alia, the emissary to the void, being its next target. Chantico, place of many people, some who likely might even have been refugees from your own home after the beast's attack. And you come to, it's like a head, it's like someone's been like pressing down on your chest for just minutes, and now you can breathe again. And you see that you're back in this. It was like you just had a moment of going through everything again. But everyone is fine. You realize you awoke from a terrible nightmare. But in this instance, you were victorious. And Howdian, there is someone in the cave, in the heart, with you, that is not of your party. She wears a crown, or at least it appears to be a crown almost of flowers, but they're crystalline, red, orange, and yellow. The form, perhaps feminine. At some moments it looks very feminine, other moments very masculine sort of like face at times, and then other moments the form seems to defy any conception of gender. But all that you see in all of these myriad of forms is a being of strength, of courage, the very warden of strength and courage themselves. It is Abira.
I think what happens after such a horrid nightmare she is awoken from is and seeing her, I think it's just sobbing and or maybe like not overly loud like sobbing. It's more of a soft weep, and her just plunging to the ground on her knees.
It's there's like less sound, but it's the impact is somewhere. I guess the reference here would be for anyone who watches Full Metal Alchemist. It is the moment of it's a terrible day for rain. For anyone who knows that reference,
Mm.
it is that. It is quiet and it is
Yeah.
making.
Yeah, it has a force behind it, of panic and absolute fear and rage, and happiness to finally see someone she recognizes, maybe a little too well. um, and yeah, that's I think that's what happens.
Howdian.
I yes. Yes.
Do you withhold tears for my sake?
No, I'm fine.
If you must cry, do not think that I, of all beings, would judge you for such a display.
Yeah, my mama always told me that crying isn't weak. It shows strength, actually.
And your mother must have been very strong.
Yes.
Do you know why I am here?
No, but I'm having you are.
If you would like, I will offer a hug, though I do not assume that is something you would care for.
No, I would like a hug. Yes.
And you hug, and again, it's whatever Howdian imagines as the definition of strength, you see this form like bend down and just give you just a very warm, tight hug. You can feel free to fill in any of the description you would like, because that's what you see.
Yeah, I think it's it is a feminine figure that she sees, I think. And it is very resembling to her mom, I think. As in, I think she has like a darker skin tone, and like long, I think more curling and but like auburn and like it almost seems to like change between like gold and like dark brown, like very shimmery and very shiny. And I think she is just wearing full plate armor, just absolutely decked out.
Mm.
And like this, I think this huge sword on her back. Um, and uh, and like, but her hands are very much, they are not gloved, uh, and they are very very dainty and feminine, I think. um, as to show off the more feminine side of her.
And I'll add the detail too that like even though there is this very like feminine, almost like in some points like kind of like well manicured and like well painted sort of nails, like you see the underside of the palm, there's just heavy calluses.
Yes.
Like it's someone who has known work, who has known probably conflict, who's known toil. But it is funny actually that you mentioned that she has a blade. Howdian.
I like pull back from the hug and I take a step back. I'm like, all right, it's official time. And then I go and stand in like a very a very soldier like stance, like at the ready.
You've lived through much already, and I cannot promise you, for no one can, that what troubles you will end even if this whole affair ends. But what I can offer you is grace. The grace that a being such as myself can offer. And I see that you have already been blessed in one manner of speaking for this sword that you wield, and you see like a burst of flame appear in her hand, and the blade that you've used, the shadowy sort of star-like blink blade. This is almost fitting for a warrior such as yourself. But I think we can do more. And you see her pull this massive, like, it has the build, shape, and overall feel of a great sword, but she seems to be wielding it very like Ike from Fire Emblem style of like, oh yeah, it's a two-handed sword. No, I got it. It's one hand. We're good. We're good. This is fine. And she sets it on top of the Shadow Blade. And you just watch as threads of lilies, of fire lilies, just begin to form between the two blades. And it's almost like you see invisible hands beginning to almost like to sew the two blades together and overlap them until like roaring fire, the fire in your spirit, in your soul, take hold of it. To Howdian, I bequeath to you the Fire Whisper Blade. And of course, as someone of your position is sure to deserve, the title of the Undying Fire Lily. She sets it down in front of you. Do what you must to protect your friends, and most importantly others, in the world. This is the strength that I can offer you. For the courage you show in front of others, and the courage you show alone.
I take the blade. And before I actually lift it, I do like a small bow. And I look her in the eyes and I say, I can never thank you enough for everything you've done.
Then don't. Simply be who you are, Howdian. Keep the warmth that is your very soul alive. And never let that which has troubled you become cause to weigh you down. And you hear your heartbeat grow in your ears, the sound of it, and as one more beat happens, she's gone. All of you wake up the next morning. Things carrying on, everything's fine. Nim, you are awake. You are fine. And if you haven't done so already, you all got 9 ability points back for that confrontation.
Also, y'all wake up to a lovely family breakfast.
All right, jeez. Okay.
There were feelings exchanged.
I don't think Nim was expecting to wake up actually, because the last thing they remember was saying something to the lovely eldritch horror that had been harassing them and hugging Howdian and then transferring all of their life to her.
You are crazy, do you know?
Absurd.
They
I
don't want-
forget
they
about
don't
that
want
one.
friends, they don't want
Absolutely
their friends
absurd.
to die. Also,
Have
I
so
some,
silly.
like a nest
also
of
I
blankets.
misinterpreted.
That's
Things
so
happened,
silly.
is what we're saying. Things
That's
happened.
true, but also that's so
But-
silly.
You
Oh my-
definitely wake up to like a nest of blankets and like just a cup of warm chamomile tea.
Yes. Oh no.
It's-
Not
why-
cam-
Not made from
Oh
chamomile.
my god.
Chamomile with a lowercase c. And I go and drag Farron back for breakfast in the form of, get up, you nut, we're going to breakfast.
Theron does initially resist, but food. Food wins the day.
They're like, no.
I'm just like, good
Farron.
morning, everyone. Have a seat. Sit down. We're eating breakfast as a family.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
right.
this is after Farron tried unsuccessfully to become King of the Weevils, and then
Baron
yeah,
tried to use the staff that was held by the apostle and seemed to be controlling the astral ravagers to take control of them. It semi-worked. It kept them back so that the worm
worked well enough.
Your frost
Have you
worm friend
all-
didn't die.
Have you all lost your minds? Like,
Thank you,
Certainly
thank you
indulged
for
in being
that.
reckless. But
Honestly,
King
thank
of the
you,
Weevils.
Jace, for making sure Marbell didn't die. I love that dragon so much.
Yeah,
by the
very
way,
good dragon.
Farron, you turn back and you feel this like in your hands, like this kind of like warmth there, and you sense for a second. You look and there's a faint pinkish energy around them.
I'm gonna quickly turn back and check I haven't set anything on fire.
You haven't.
Because that's happened before.
It has happened before. You notice though it's not like your burn, but you feel a similar kind of almost a compulsion to look out towards the horizon, and you see that the sun is beginning to rise up in the sky, and you feel this sense to fire your bow, just somewhere off in that direction, towards sort of the way that the sun is happening.
Just kind of reaches back and like just definitely as always just flicks an arrow out and knocks it and just it kind of finds like I should like as the sun's coming, just all like at the tip of the curve of the sun.
Yeah.
Just the tip.
Just
Thank you, Jen. Thank you for this.
You're so welcome.
I'm so glad to be back.
I'm really
You know what?
not. I'm really not. But Farron, as you do this, you hear the calming, very like jasmine and lavender. You smell also jasmine and lavender nearby, and you, for a second, almost feel the way that the arrow flies through the air, and then it just seems to land point down in front of you. And you hear in your head a gift, and you see that the tip of the arrow seems to have a yellow and pinkish energy about it.
Huh?
The voice who spoke was Zahara, by the way.
yeah. It's in Baron said it's like error 404, page not found.
Yes.
Bless them. They are not the smartest being, so they are slightly confused by all of this.
They're
Oh,
they're
a good
very
Dembo.
twink. They're a good twink bean.
A good Dembo. It's excellent.
Yes.
Dembo.
Oh, that's
The
that's
best
great.
Dembo. But Farron, the arrow just sits in front of you. You just pick it up.
Pick it up and like put it back in the quiver. Just be like, this shit's getting far too weird.
Just so you know, Farron, you have gained access to the ability known as flash arrows. I'm going to post that in the private Discord, but as a sneak peek to what it does, it lets you channel the energy that you pulled from the staff to hit a target and make them roll at disadvantage. Or if you spend,
Oh.
it costs 2 AP for a single target, and you can spend 5 to do that on up to 2 targets in sort of like a little radius, like flash burst.
Nice.
Think of it as the very power of light, and the psychic energy that you pulled is now yours to command.
Spiritual flash grenade.
Basically, it is what it is. You just got given a holy flash grenade.
Holy hand grenade.
I
Damn.
like it.
You know what? Fair.
I wasn't gonna
Fair.
go there.
Fair.
I've just got
Farron.
I've just got the Flash Gordon theme playing through my head now.
Flash.
It's good that only Jen heard that. What I said.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I heard it.
I didn't, so I'm not going to.
Good. Yeah, no, don't ask further. It's fine.
So carrying on, the party is able
Yes,
to
we are.
reconvene. You were able to reconvene for aggressive family time. Aggressive family time.
A nice
Oh,
family
no.
breakfast.
Oh, it's like waking up on Christmas morning being forced to sit next to my sister. Great.
I appreciate
Hey y'all,
that.
I'm an only child. I can't relate.
No, Nim, without even realizing that they're being poked awake, is just gonna roll over and be like, 5 more minutes.
No, I know you almost died yesterday, and that means you need to eat.
That's going to make them look up and have a does not compute for a few seconds, and then an oh fuck expression.
Yeah. Yeah, you sure did a thing. You scared us half to death.
Everybody's alive, right?
Everybody's alive. We did it.
Okay.
You okay?
No, but that's normal.
Okay, have a granola bar.
You're not yourself when you're hungry.
No.
Have a Snickers.
Oh my god. Oh.
Don't you mean hangry?
Oh my
don't like
god.
Have a Snickers.
Nim's going to just sit up, and Serena's just going to literally hear like their back and hands just crackling.
Oh dear. Well, glad you're awake and alive to crack and crackle.
That's I liked it better when I was frozen cold and couldn't feel this.
Well, you want some tea?
Yes.
Here you go. And I hand them some tea. I hand
They're
them a steaming cup of tea.
Yep, they're just gonna huddle, probably with their cloak with the tea, and just look around the room like confused and very bewildered. Probably also looking over to How to make sure How's doing okay, because I think they transferred 4, so How should have 6.
I mean, you're all fine because you had a long rest. You're
Oh,
back
that's
to
right.
all
We're all
full
back to
health.
10.
We did. We're good.
You're all good. You just definitely all look like you've been through hell,
Yeah.
or at
Because
least
I
the
think-
void.
I think what happens, going to sleep, How did not take off her armor, which is extremely uncomfortable and extremely stupid.
Everything hurts.
Yes, everything hurts, but
I sympathize.
yeah, she has just been laying in bed like this, and then she kind of like she wakes up like Cinderella, like she her eyes like flutter open, and then she's like, wow, I had the strangest dream.
Yeah, I dreamed that we were all in the hearth and then we all almost died.
Yeah, me too, but also something else. And then I think I like slowly like roll out of bed.
I just like hand her a plate as she gets up.
Amazing.
Is the creaking
Family
the armor or my
breakfast.
bones?
Yes, who knows at this point?
I
My
know.
bones. I know that for a fact. My bones.
Yeah. And that I think she might have had the decency of taking off her sword before going to bed. So
Oh,
I
yeah, that-
think she would like look beside her bed and see if like it's a different sword.
She sees the sword that the warden gave her.
And so she'll pick it up and like swing, like get it out. Like she put down the plate of food. And she kind of looks
Like,
at it.
whoa, I didn't mean to poison you or anything.
No.
Just wanted to feed you.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're totally fine. Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's not the same sword that
This
you
is-
had yesterday.
It's new. I thought it was
You were sleeping the entire time. How'd you do that?
I thought it was a dream. I didn't think it was real. That's why I'm looking now. This is
What is it?
it's a special gift from Abira.
Oh,
Uh,
dang. It's
Wow.
like one of those, like, I'll visit you in your dreams and enchant your crap kind of thing.
I guess.
'Cause that's efficient, I gotta say.
I think it is. I mean,
Nice.
it's super cool. I got a title. I'm still Haurian, but like I'm also like Haurian, like something for the fire lily. It's my mind is so like it's ooh. I think I need to sit down. Hold on. And she like sits down on the bed. And she's like, wow, that's really cool.
Wait, are we
It is
still at
really
the hearth?
cool.
I mean, you all, I think,
Yeah,
decided
we're in the
to
crypt,
rest
I'm
at
pretty
the
sure.
hearth. You're in the
Yeah, we're-
crypt.
We're in a crypt, yeah. We're in
Because
a
she
crypt on a
promised that
floor.
we'd be okay. We were promised that we would be looked after and preserved, not like bodies, but like preserved as in like not killed.
I appreciate that I've facilitated the kind of space where my players have to make this distinction. This is actually like GM goals, where my players have to say things like that. Also, by the way, Farron, you hear stuff around you. There's gnarling, unpleasant, like screeching. No, actually, there's not. You're fine. Everything's okay.
Oh,
My
jeez.
God. Why
Do you
would
know
do
what?
I wouldn't even be surprised.
that? I wouldn't either, but you know. So wait, hold on.
Oh.
Because my mind really is this foggy. What was the title I was given again? It was
The Undying Fire Lily.
what the fuck?
A well-preserved fire lily.
Yes, I guess I am. Fucking in a-
I had to give you the most like metal and or badass title I could think of that just had like a scotch of like poetic. That's what I came up with.
It's good.
If you'd like a
It's
different
very
one, I'll
good.
work on it. But there
it's
you go.
amazing. I like it. I love it a lot. Yes. So
Yeah.
I'm like repeating to myself like, howdy, the undying fire lily. This is what is
Yeah, really. You came close for a minute there.
Oh my god.
Nim. What are the odds that yeah. What are the odds that you could get our friend the Hearthkeeper to give us a little lift back to town so we can save the world again?
My praying to any of the gods usually doesn't mean I get god public transit.
Like maybe like GTS, like God Transit Service. Maybe, but like they did mention last night that they would be able to give us some good GTS.
Wait, they were here?
Oh yeah.
'Cause
You were
Nim was unconscious
out.
throughout that whole
You were
thing.
out. Yeah, they were here. Maybe if we call on them, they'll come back. If
Shit,
you
no,
call them,
but
they'll
I'm
come
happy
back.
I missed that because I really didn't want a talking to.
If we hit a crossroads
They-
along the way, is it a divine intersection?
I am going to leave. I'm going to leave.
Okay,
Goodbye.
but genuinely, that one was good. I appreciate that
Genuinely?
one. That one, I will actually give you a clap.
Yes, I loved it.
My good Thembo. You deserve a clap for that one. That was good.
My God.
Also, hey God, could you call me an Uber? Chat, Nova specifically, I appreciate you.
Does the loving guardian use Lyft?
The loving guardian uses Lyft. Like we just start figuring out what each of the deities like specific like variations of like public transit they give you.
Yeah, all of a sudden you're like, what's that? Oh, you're outside? All right, we're coming out. Yeah, we're coming out.
Like, can we ride share with God?
Right, sure.
If
With
someone
God.
is not, if someone's not telling them to eat, they're just sitting there really confused.
Oh, I'm
I'm
definitely
telling you
shoving
to
food
eat.
into your hands.
Yeah, I just assume Serena's in like full like I'm not saying you have to eat, but if you don't fucking eat, I'm gonna actually do something.
I will spoon feed you. Absolutely.
I
No,
will
but I will
aggressively
st-
care.
Yes.
I will glare at you until you do eat. I'm just like, here, have your porridge, have a cup of tea, call your God. Just morning routine.
Call your god or call on your god. I know they're about the same thing, but
No, call
Here,
them.
just give them a ring.
It's like when you stayed over at a friend's house.
The
but you
cost
don't-
on those minutes, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Call
Damn
collect.
it.
Call collect.
Yes.
call.
Oh my God.
All right. Public deific public transit conversations aside and municipal godly
Funds.
affairs out of the way. Fucking chaos beans, the lot of you.
I
Sorry.
needed to make up for all the puns that I didn't make during the rest of the stream.
I mean, that's
Exactly.
it's fair. It's fair. But
It's true.
you
It's true.
you do also have Berta Caceres with you as well. Berta does
We
know
do.
the way back. She's also
Yeah, but-
nursing a like everything hurts kind of thing because she used up
See?
all of her abilities and she's like Howdy, I think like everyone got to like within 5 or less of their ability points left after a certain point. Like everyone was
I was actually
low.
at 6. I was actually at 6.
Wow.
I don't know how I managed to do that. I think it was because I was a bear, but
I commend you.
like we could just walk back, but imagine like the glam of bamfing back on God Uber.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So where do we have to go? Are we going to take to
Chantico.
go back to the? Oh, we're not gonna get Howdy and back to the village to say goodbye to.
I don't think that's the most of our concern right now. I'll see her again pretty soon. It's
I-
fine.
I will give a quick reminder to everyone that the Giants did indicate that they would potentially give you something if you gave them news of your success or overall progress with the cave. With the
Let's go
hearth.
get our stuff.
Yeah, maybe we should go back first. you
Hint,
know?
your
Get our
GM wants to
presents.
give you shit. Go back to the hub world, get your new equipment, and stop trying to go to the boss when you haven't leveled up. You have to grind
Hey.
sometime.
No. Okay.
Running is
Also, like
boring.
the ingot just sitting right there is just like, what? Was someone smithing while I wasn't?
No, that was a gift from Celestial Uber.
From Ida
Yeah.
or Ada? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That's for you. They
I'm just gonna pick it up and look at it.
I suspect they were expressing their appreciation for having followers like you.
I mean, that's
You're a delight, Nim.
I mean, considering how I left my old home on pretty terrible terms, I don't know that that's quite accurate, but yeah, let's get back to. Are we using God Transit back to the Giants, or are we walking?
I mean, if we look outside, has the blizzard stopped at all?
Yeah, it's been snowing on us.
And has the blizzard stopped or no?
There's no snow. Like, as Farron was able to take note of first with seeing the sunset, the winds have calmed down. It's still cold because it's a mountain range in the midst still of winter.
Yeah.
But the winds have calmed down. Like, there's clear sunshine now, and the sky is relatively okay. Like even around Marbell's cave, that was really the only spot where things seemed to get worse, and even then it was unnatural for the way that Marbell's presence was for it even to be that intense.
So we can't sled down the mountain.
You know what? I'm going to deploy an old favorite of many a GM, which is you can certainly try. I give you no guarantees as to the success of your actions. I merely facilitate what happens in the consequence part.
Okay,
I think what you're saying is you can make bad choices if you really want to.
Yes, this is... If I've done nothing in this campaign, it's just give you all space to make terrible, terrible decisions.
I will
and still somehow do good things.
I will always happily oblige.
Although I'm not gonna lie, if freaking the GM wants to give you, if you don't, you will regret it. Thank you, Mia Midair, for pointing that out, because yes, I put in time to make you stuff. Don't make me regret it.
Okay, so yeah, we can we just hit the fast travel button back to the giant? I'm assuming that Farron's just avoiding Nim the entire way.
It is studiously avoiding.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I think I do on the way back. Wanna go over to Farron and be like, everything all right?
I'm perfectly fine.
Okay. If you ever need to talk, I'm right here.
It's fine. Everything is perfectly fine. No issues whatsoever.
That doesn't sound very truthful to me, Farron.
Is that like they're blatantly lying through their teeth?
Exactly.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
It's like they're like just as they're walking, doing anything to avoid talking to Nim, like checking their arrows, recanting their arrows, checking the string on their bow like 500 times.
I feel like Howdy and what you're dealing with is a twink who's engaging in a failed hoodwink about lying.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, and so after the 8th time of him of them checking their string, I'm like, you've been checking that string an awful lot. I are you sure you're all right?
I mean, you never know. Like, we could be attacked by another wyvern, or a manticore, or gods only know what else. So, pays to be prepared.
Okay. Yeah.
The most awkward car ride back, but there's no car. It's just walking back because this takes all day, by the way, to get back to the Giants.
Yeah.
Even
No,
with
I mean-
Bertha's like guidance.
Yeah, I mean, I assume there's like conversation like happening between people, and I'm like every once in a while, I'm like, "Are you sure? All right, friend." Like, yep. And then just being like, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, you are able eventually to make it back, and you do notice there have been no wolves, no winter griffins, nothing along the way. You even notice the waterfall that had been frozen. It's still frozen, but like it doesn't appear to have such as like huge deep layers of frost and like ice over it. It just looks as though it's been in place. That's more of a natural effect of the area.
I'm gonna take this opportunity to imbibe from the mountain spring.
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
It means drink, Jace.
Yeah, that's
I'd say like that is the most like bougie way of putting it I've ever heard.
yeah. I'm not gonna lie. That even as a purveyor of words of a loquacious nature, this is a little pretentious.
It could have been worse. I could have been like, I would like to slake my thirst.
Oh my god. Oh my god. But
You as a character and as a person can never say that statement with a straight face. I'm
Can we do
sorry.
anything with a straight face?
Oh my god.
Thank you for that.
No, mostly with a gay face.
It's also I appreciate Nova saying Farron's preparing to get another ass whooping by their deity. You know what? I've thought about it. Do you want to have a gardener just staring at you with a trowel and like a bucket and like a little container of water and just being like, I will make you work these plots until you like talk about it like an adult?
That's just Serena.
So wait, so as we are like nearing the village, is Serena just trying to get everybody to talk?
Well, and me. I've also been like,
Well, yeah, but you've specifically been talking to Farron, and Nim's just kind of like mumbling to themselves every once in a while.
At one point I do want to take lag back a little bit with Farron. And just give like a slight inclination of the head to indicate lag back with me for a minute.
Sorry, Nova just broke me.
oh my god.
Nova, we need players to function for the rest of the session. For God's sake.
So I'm just gonna like give them that inclination of the head, being like, my office now.
God.
Carrying on.
Yeah. What are your concerns about Nim? And none of that, what are you talking about bullshit?
That's like the tip of an iceberg that's like a mile frickin' wide.
Okay. Because listen, I understand why you have developed some trust concerns. I would not be lying if I said that didn't also concern me. That said, we are about to go into the confrontation of a literal lifetime, possibly the last of our lifetimes if we get really unlucky. However, if we are going to not helping Firebird, that said, if we are going to survive this, the way we're going to do that is not by splitting up and not trusting each other.
You actually think we're gonna survive this?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't know. I think it's about a 70-30, more on the side of us dying a horrible death. But what we can do right now, it's a 70-30 with the way that trust is being placed or misplaced. I, for one, want to go home. I want to go take care of my flower chamomile and grow her up again into a nice little flower that can keep defending that temple. I can't do that if the two of you are at odds, because that is going to kill our chances. I'm going to be talking to everyone, but I wanted to talk to you first because I need to know that we can get past this and we can go into this battle without having to look behind our shoulders at each other. I've got a flower to take care of. My new daughter. I just want to get back to her.
I don't.
And cosmic wives
know.
to get.
How many are we at now? 15, 16?
Don't worry about it.
100, 200.
I don't even have that many NPCs in the campaign, for Christ's sake.
Take a shot every time Serena wants to marry someone.
I want to
Don't.
die.
You'll be dead in like 2 seconds.
I can have 3 Long Islands and 4 whiskey shots in one night and wake up with no hangover. I still think I can beat that. That would still get me a hangover.
Do we think we can talk about this as a group?
Yeah.
If the answer is not yes, then I'm outie, because this has to do, damn, ouch, Nova. We have to do this right. I'm not actually going to be outie if you say no, but I'll be real sad.
I mean, you may not have noticed, but talking's not exactly my strong point.
That's okay. We are all hot mess. Just like my other campaign. But we need to get this figured out before we go up against Big Bad. So how do you feel about a sit down tonight before we get back to the village? So if things, we don't have to air our dirty laundry out in front of the entire village. But I want to have a proper conversation tonight, get our heads together so that we can go into this confrontation without having to watch both ends.
Fine.
Awesome, cool, let's go.
But
Yeah.
if you're expecting us to be like fast friends off the back of one conversation, it ain't happening.
I don't need y'all to be having pillow fights at sleepovers. I just need you to trust each other in a fight. Or at least
Right.
trust each other's intentions.
What, like shooting me in the arm?
Look, that sucked. I'm not gonna lie. At the same time, I don't think they did it on purpose.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Just
That's a first.
don't ever let on that I said that.
Said what?
Thank you.
Let's go. You dork. And we catch up to the rest of the party.
Actually,
And that night, I'm calling a house meeting.
okay, so we're just, are we there yet?
I mean,
Not to be that person.
unless Serena is wanting to have any of the other talks with folks before reaching that point, before reaching the village again, you could put that here. We could put that later. I'm
I think
gauging
later
time
is-
as best we can for things, but
Later is good.
but you are able to make it back to the spot, and Berta does get ready to depart from all of you and saying, you are all very capable, and I appreciate you taking the time to ensure I get back home. I'm going to try and give the leaders a heads up about some of what transpired, and the rest, if you would like to fill in, but I will just let them know that you were successful. And that
Thank you.
there may be other difficulties that you will be heading off very soon to deal with. Yes, small one?
What? I was just making hand gestures.
I'm just making sure you didn't have any other concerns.
Thank you for all your help, by the way.
You're welcome. I appreciate the thanks. From what I can gather, that is not something that you are inclined to do very often for others.
He's not. We're very proud of him.
There.
Say
Them and they.
Them.
that's a salient point, but all the same.
I wish you luck. And may
God, me too.
may the call of the mountain be with you, and may its will keep you safe. And she heads off, carrying off the quarterstaff, and you see she does seem to now be like holding her hands like with some level of pain. Now that the cold is also gone, but she seems to be like still handling it pretty well, like all things considered. And just carries off, and you see that there's a few other people in the distance who greet her. There's actually a pair. There's a orcish woman and what appears to be another elven woman who both greet her with happiness and like the like cheek kisses kind of introduction with each other, and it's very warm and sweet.
Serena looks on, wishing that were her.
But whatever you'd like to do from here, if you want to go talk to the leaders, if you want to sit down and rest and just debrief first, it's your call, y'all.
Hey everybody, how do we feel about a house meeting?
I think that's a wonderful idea.
In the middle of the mount, like on the path.
I was thinking like maybe before bed.
So it's not going to be as forced as breakfast this morning. Wonderful.
Okay, my eggs are delicious. Fight me.
They are. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
I'm going to respectfully say nothing.
Oh, that wasn't up for debate. My eggs are delicious.
Nim is just like trying not to. They're doing that like, and then trying not to laugh.
I'm just imagining Nim as the like Mr. Krabs meme of being like between like Serena and Farron, just like going back and forth. Like I don't know what's going on here, but I'm just gonna let it be.
I mean, I don't know if the whole shape shifting thing affects your taste buds, but
My God.
Oh no wolf cuddles for you. Let's go get our freaking reward.
Her accent,
better have burn heal.
No.
That would be my job.
Oh goodness.
Also, I appreciate Nova being like Nim's little sibling who tries not to laugh at their older sibling getting chewed out by mom. That is very much what the tone of this session is right now. We're starting by emotion and we're going to family drama.
I mean, normally
drama
Nim
right
was
now.
the one playing mom friend, so this is nice.
This is
Being
fine.
a mom friend is kind of fun.
It is.
I normally play like cranky, like delinquent sister friend, but like
This is what we wanted, emotional reckoning. What we got, a goddamn telenovela.
It happens.
Which one
But
of us
I'm
is going to slip
thinking-
into a coma?
Ooh, me, I'm the mom. But we should absolutely have a house meeting after we claim our rewards, because we'll all feel nice and good after we claim our rewards, so we'll still be on that high, and then we can actually address these other things. Sound good?
Yes.
I'm thinking this over because now, because of Jace's fucking comment, now I'm just wondering what these characters would have been like in Pasión de los Pasiones as a system. God damn it. Wait. Carrying on, you are able to to move on through the rest of the village. You do see that there are folks who greet you much more warmly now, as it seems as though Berta did go ahead of you, like you've been talking, and like there's some time that's passed, and it seems
I
as though
imagine it's a little bit warmer too.
Yeah, it is a little bit warmer. So folks have this at least like small sense that things have changed, but for the better. And you see there's a lot more there's less fear. There's a lot more warm appreciation. No one's like ready to be like hip hip hooray, toss you into the air. But it is definitely much more positive. And as you head into the cave once again, you hear the voices of all of the giant clan leaders, and they're all standing there. All of them. The smallest one, I believe, I put her at like 16 to 18 feet. This is a reminder, and the tallest one's about 27 feet tall.
Yup. So we're just like, hey guys, we're alive. We did it.
Nim needs to lay on the floor because they're under 5 foot tall. No, actually, Nim wants one more thing. Nim is going to mildly hang back before like everybody goes in and kind of try to duck around like part of the cave after like while everybody is walking and just like quietly mutter, okay, where are you?
You have no response.
I mean, probably from other voices, but yeah, not.
It's the usual cacophony. It's not the eldritch horror cacophony invading one.
Yeah. For reference for anyone, it sounds like Hellblade. The background
that's a good reference.
Oh,
background voices, which Nim does not always have, and Serena would know this because it's part of, that's actually part of bipolar, is you can actually have that during a manic episode. So it's the normal, like, it's sort of the little Hellblade like voices back there. They're not always nasty, because if you remember, like in Hellblade, sometimes like when she's getting injured, the voices are literally like, get up, get up, get up. So it's
just conversation at best.
Yeah.
It's just mutterings.
Yeah. It's like someone who just was told, we need you to like filibuster something for like 6 hours, go. It's like, okay. I don't really care, but can you calm down? I don't care about some of this. It has like that kind of vibe.
It's like we're they're still just trying to sit there, wait for a second. It's like,
you don't hear anything.
Okay, fine, we're talking later. And just duck into the cave. Nim doesn't know, because Nim wouldn't necessarily.
Yeah, Nim has no sense of like the presence being there or anything like that.
It's gone quiet before though, so
it has. So you don't know what that means necessarily. You just know that it's not responding, and it seemed to have the habit before of wanting to just engage in like poking fun at you. So that is something that does stand out. It doesn't seem to be there right now.
Still don't trust it.
But you walk into the cave and you see the tall form of all of the giants, and you see at the center of all of them once again is Lydia Hoyas, the head of those who command the storms. As a quick refresher for everyone, the oldest member of the confederation of the giant clans. Hair past the shoulders, crackles with lightning and thunder, has wisps of blue and white that lighten a head of black and white hair. The dress is a little bit more woebegone than the rest. And there's a walking stick that, given its size, would probably double as a very impressive club. And a headpiece that seems to have white, yellow, and blue flowers assembled into an almost flattened conical shape that sits on the head and occasionally floats above it, as though propelled by some sort of magical energy. I sense that you are successful, but as these things are wont to be, not always correct, I must ask, how were your efforts in the hearth?
Well, we were successful in a way. Sadly, what we had experienced last time happened again, as in the threat moving itself to a different location. But for now, the hearth is safe, and we can tell you all the good news that there are no worries anymore of that regard. At least not over here.
I mean, there may have been some property destruction, but apart from that,
Well, only the necessary, of course. Only the things that they used to work against us.
we practically buried the burial chamber. What are you on about?
Farron, shut up.
Yeah,
You-
to be fair, I did like break four-ish pillars. Sorry.
Anyway,
We did what we set out to do. There was some collateral damage. We almost died, but we accomplished our mission.
It's just leans into trying. You really think they'd give a fuck if we died?
they would. I think they would.
Actually,
for them.
actually, we would.
Seriously?
Of course
They were
would.
joking, right, Farron?
I sense that they were not, and you are all owed an apology. We doubted, perhaps, somewhat that you would succeed, but we also hoped, if only so that more innocent life not be lost. In the event that you were unable to clear the hearth and needed to flee, we would have brought back more and actually understood that you did your best. But given that we have had many an occasion where those who have claimed to support us have backstabbed us, I think I recall in particular one rather self-absorbed fellow. I believe it was a gnomish fellow of some kind. I think he bore the name Shortholt or something of that sort, and he was a rather terrible man. And he promised many things with eloquent words, and then saw fit to nearly destroy and upend the peace we had managed here. So you will forgive us if we had suspicions and doubts that those with potentially honeyed words, as sarcastic, biting, and reckless as they are to be, could be proven false.
I.
Can't remember who exactly.
I don't have a witty rejoinder for that one.
Huh.
That's
When
new.
when you say that, there is a lot, like, and bear in mind, throughout the entirety of that of her saying this, the one who had been looking at you, still with some level of suspicion, the shortest among them, who led those who are from the hills of the giant clans, actually smiles for the first time you've seen her in your presence, and she lets out a giant laugh. Pun intended. And there is a sense, she walks over and she says, I can see that you are as stubborn and potentially as hot-tempered as I am. And Lydia just sort of like raises her hand and like has her like lean back. As we said before, for your efforts, we offer you our thanks. We offer you a place here in the village as guests should you ever need to return. Or for Howdian, there will be a place made here for you should you ever wish this to be your home. And I myself, Lydia Huayas, as the current head of the Confederation of Giants, bequeath to you this mark of our trust. And you see, she bends down to the ground, and it's absurdly comical in that she raises like a bag that seems to be like very very tiny in her hands. Like it's the equivalent for her. It's almost like the size of like a what a rice grain would be in an average person's hand. But she sets it down on the ground, and you see there's a bag that has, you hear tinkling inside of it. And for anyone who looks in there, there are 3 potions, all of healing.
Oh.
I just like grab 2 of them and just shove them at both both Hal and Nim.
I just thank you.
What these are expensive.
That's fine.
Yes. They are. You have done well. You have done good things. Because of this, you deserve reward. And even more so, this is a relic that we bequeath to you as well, as a sign of our trust and faith that we put in you. And you see, she actually raises her hand up to the headpiece she's wearing. And in the center of it, you had not realized what seemed to have been draping over it was a singular phoenix feather.
Oh dang.
The shape and the shape of it and the overall way it looks is something that would be noticeable. I think best Farron, because Farron would probably have a lot of experience with fletching arrows and having used different things with birds and such. It is likely taken from the crown of the divine bird itself. We offer you the oracle's crest.
I'm not sure we can accept this.
That's a lot.
My dears, do you think it is the only thing that we have available to us to protect ourselves? And you notice that there is a faint glowing now in all 5 of the different headpieces that the other giants are wearing as well. This was said to be the first found among our clans, and the first that Lydia invoked as a means of seeing that the paths that we would follow for the future would lead us to ruin if we were to only allow discord and division to define what our clans could be. So we offer this to you now as a mark of making amends, of establishing what we did the first time this item was found, of hoping and placing faith in one another and trust. As tentative and as uneasy as such a thing can be, and is very easy to fracture, it is a thing that requires time, effort, and sometimes even mistakes to see its worth.
Side-eye at Farron. We
And-
will. Sorry, go ahead.
She sets it down on the ground, and it was a rather significant size. It was sized for her, but as she sets it down on the ground, it shrinks down, and it's sized appropriately for whomever one of you would like to take hold of it.
Nim actually immediately steps back.
You immediately step forward.
If you don't want it, I'm gonna take this.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I mean, you're the fire
Nova,
one.
Sophia, it's not a phoenix down. That was not intentional. I swear to God, it's not a phoenix down. It's meant to be worn like a circlet when you put it on. Like it becomes like almost like its own like jeweled piece. It's just sort of shaped in the way that it spreads out. Like if you imagine like a bird with its feathers just spread out in its wingspan to enrapture around someone, like if it were giving its young a hug, it has that kind of effect, but it's so detailed and pristine and crystalline, but it's one feather making the circlet. This is
cool.
this is, bear in mind, this is a fragment of the literal body of God. You have the power of God on your side now.
And
also
And
anime.
anime.
Excuse you. Anime too.
I mean, here's the thing. Let's be real. You can't have both. You can pick one.
Get
They're
one.
mutually exclusive.
Yes.
Exactly.
So
So we'll pick the
could just,
power
like,
of God. Thank you.
we look up, all 20 feet up, and I just say, this will be put to use to continue the mission that we were already on. And we do thank you for lending us the strength to keep fighting the fight that we are fighting. Fight. Battle.
Not gonna lie, it'd make a pretty fucking cool arrow.
It would. It would.
This one goes on your head. It's fine.
When you need, should you require aid, I believe someone else has something for you as well. And you see her just sort of look in the direction of the hill giant one. Actually, I'm going to say the stone giant one. They're the masters of the mason, of more masonry, landscaping, and artistry. Analia Gonzalez steps forward and she says, "This is for you as well. Blow through it, and you will. We sense the Hearthkeeper will bring us to your side."
Phone a friend.
Phone a friend indeed.
It is a small flute.
Oh,
It's not an ocarina. Before you give me that look,
Oh,
Jen.
Jace.
It's
but
No,
is it
Jace
but is it
did a
an
cursed thing.
but is it an oppa flute?
A bison
yes. Actually, you know
whistle!
what? I'm gonna give you a bison whistle. Fuck it.
Yay!
I am god of this realm. I'm giving you a bison whistle.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, oh my goodness, thank you so much for these gifts. We hope we know these will be put to good use, and we hope to not disturb you for help. But if we do need it, thanks a lot. Thanks.
It is yours. Use it when you feel necessary. May the mountain be with you all. And you see all of them just sort of raise their individual the weapons, the clubs, the staff, what have you. It is a mark of respect to all of you. Which they don't set them down, because if they all set them down, it's like a small
It would
tremor
create an
for all of
earthquake.
you.
We'd all fall over.
I glance over
Also
at Hal
avoid
and I'm like,
falling prone.
do we do it back? Do we do it back, Hal? Okay, staff.
Oh,
I take the sword. I look over to Nim.
Nim's just looking up at Lydia and just being like, I can't.
it's Farah just listen. Just raise your fucking hammer.
What if we
Well-
raise Nim
well-
in place of weapon?
Well, no, one, I literally can't because it just got warm and I couldn't feel my hands before, but now I can. And one of the reasons I have this problem is because I was a mason. But also, you can't trust me.
What do you mean?
We'll unpack that tonight.
No, I mean, I can't. Lydia, you
Yes,
know I can't take any of these.
Didn't at one point we talk about a way of removing this?
Damien. This is Lydia speaking. Step back enough so you don't have to crane your neck.
I'm
The
still
voices
I'm
echo.
still 4. I'm still 4'9".
I know. But you hear her say, I mean, they are all aware of what you're dealing with. And they still place their trust in you, as do I. And more to the point, 2 things. 1, you do not get to become the arbiter of whether or not we trust you. That is not your call to make. People will have faith in you. Learn to accept it, or deny it and invite ruin into your life, if you wish, from the strain of attempting to be something that you will never be, which is a failure, which is a fool, which is someone afraid to face and do what is right. 1. Secondly, the Hearthkeeper has spoken with us. She will chat with you later.
Okay.
I sense she has a task for you, and you alone. And before you ask, you are not in trouble. Now, we must all get back to our own business. There will be no more discussion as to whether or not we should trust you or not, Nimian. We do. That is the end of the discussion for us. And it is the end of the discussion as I decree it as the head of the Confederation.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. We will leave you now. Thank you. With our gifts. Thank you so much again.
Everyone's like, back up,
Yeah.
back up. Just everyone just chill the fuck out and back up.
Mhm.
And I think on that note, with the party having had a deluge of gifts that they're about to receive, and I will have to be posting multiple things in our private Discord about all of this, about what exactly they just got.
Yes, please.
We're going to take our break because we, I think, all should stretch. Take your meds, drink water, and process the deeply existential threat and angst of realizing that people can believe in your self-worth even when you are incapable of doing so.
All right.
You know.
So, that out of the way, we'll see you all in about 5-10 minutes, everybody. We'll be back real soon, okay?
See you later. Goodbye.
Hello again, everybody. We return. We are one happy, not chaotic family who isn't making crude comments in this chat in any way, shape, or form.
No idea what you mean.
Sex joke.
We're totally not dicking around.
There is no war in Basing Say.
No, we're dicking
We're
down.
not having a philosophical discussion.
There is no war in
I think we
Basing
broke
Say.
her. I think we broke.
Just so I'm going to look directly at the camera for this one. Just so you all are aware, I enjoy GMing. This brings me great happiness. But also there are some moments where I think I may actually prematurely age and feel that premature aging.
Feels like a gray hair
Happily.
sprouting.
Happily,
A wrinkle
this is
forming.
not one of them. This is not one of those moments. Bringing us back into the fold with our group having received a deluge of magical items and random things and new abilities and features that they have adequately squeed about in our break.
Oh my god,
yeah.
I miss. I've heard that word.
Yes.
miss
Everyone is now convened, I will say, back in the sort of like one of these smaller village residences that has been set aside for all of you. Humble kind of home, basic kind of living room space, of giant build, constructed furniture and things of that sort, things of stone, things of other various materials that looks as though those of mason background or carpentry background or even leatherworking background have done quite a number on this household. Seems to be one set aside for guests and those who travel who have proven some level of not going to do anything terrible while here. There is a vibe of that in the sense that like it's very spacious. There's some room if folks want to cook. The kitchen is quite robust and quite stocked as well in its pantry. So the space is yours, everyone.
All right, where's the get along shirt?
Alright, I'm gonna head out.
Not another step young them.
Gonna just try. Meanwhile, Nim is trying to like hide the health potion in someone else's bag. Probably Farron's actually, because Serena has health.
I have been hit once this
yeah.
entire campaign.
Oh, don't worry, that'll change.
Oh,
Nim, I
Look
need
what
you to
you've done!
roll a d20 real quick.
Oh,
dear.
should I roll my cage d20? Maybe I should roll my my bad
Don't roll the
rolled
caged one.
rolled a 1 when I really didn't need it to.
You only got an Eldritch Horror.
That's a
speaking
4.
Let's see.
So
Not
I'll let you decide how it goes awry as you try and sneak a health potion into Farron's bag. I'm going to state for the record, I'm not going to have an option B, you break the potion. By all rights, I should have that be a thing, but I won't, because we're nearing the end and I want to be nice.
Me as a player says thank you. Can it just be, so how, like, what does Farron's bag look like? I want to start there.
You mean the like messenger bag that Farron keeps on them at all times, apart from when they're sleeping?
Yeah, so they're just, Farron just automatically notices Nim just trying to like sneak the health potion in, except Nim just kind of gets there. You know how you get like your shirt or like caught on like one of the metal parts of a bag, like one of the buckles?
Wait, Farron, is it? It probably wouldn't be like Velcro, but is it almost like a kind of like a latched bag of some kind?
I can actually get it because I based it on my
Oh
bag.
my god.
Oh, good. No, bring it, because that'll actually that will help with because I think I have an idea for what like rom-com Christmas movie-esque moment happens as you do this. So
Dice is going back in the cage.
Oh, so it's almost like kind of leathery, kind of like straps that have been like put together. Yeah. So I imagine that as you're trying to finish putting the strap on, you don't notice that like a section of like because you is it like gauntlets or almost like greaves that you have like on? No, it's well, it's not greaves. Greaves would be the
Nim
light parts.
has Nim actually has just those thick fighter gloves, but bracers.
They get stuck in the strap.
As Nim goes to try to sneak away.
Yeah, you have one of those like oh no.
If I stay perfectly still, they can't see me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Your
exactly what I was.
vision
They're
space
just trying to
stuff
like
movement.
leave, and they're like, "Oh shit!" And then Farron looks, and they're like,
I can perceive you, you know.
I mean, normally that works because I'm short, but hi.
Get your hand out of my bag.
Can you help?
Just-
I mean, you're free, Nim.
I know, I'm just laughing.
Well, now that we're all perceiving each other, I think we should sit down and have a nice family chat.
I think so too. I think that's a very good idea, Serena. That's a very, very, very good idea.
Thank you, Hal. Why don't we all sit around the table? I'll whip up some more tea and we can talk.
Oh, gods.
They can't help you now.
That was actually very good. I am only not laughing intensely because I was trying to get a thing in.
My mother
Damn it, Nova.
Moms are mad at you.
Yes.
My comment and then Nova's follow-up are amazing.
I'm about to pass away. You do not perceive me.
For those on the VOD
Oh my
who will not be able
God.
to read the, I believe won't be able to read the chat, but also I kind of just want to read it for the hell of it. My comment was when both your lesbian moms are mad at you, and then Nova's follow-up was Serena, let's have a nice family chat. Farron, my pronouns are no/none. Do not address me ever.
Also, just wanted to say, my date mate in chat also wrote "panic and gay,"
Yes.
and
Basically, this
and
entire party.
and oh god, I just saw the "oh no, Serena is feeling prickly."
Come on.
Carrying on. I am instituting the GM fiat, rare though I am to do so.
Okay, everyone sit. I'm going to pour you a nice cup of calming tea. All right. So, Farron, Nim, Farron, talk it out. Because I was telling this to Farron earlier, and I'm going to tell it to the rest of you. How I assume you already know this, so it's mainly just to Farron and Nim. Let's be real. We are about to go into a fight that is theoretically going to decide the fate of the world. If we're going to do this, we need to be able to trust each other. We have to be able to look to our front and not worry about who's coming up from behind us. Not a word, any of you. If we're going to do this, and if we're going to do it right, we need to trust each other, at least enough to be able to look to each other in battle. Can we do that? Insert sex joke here.
God fucking damn it.
Oh, let's not start talking about arrow shafts. That's just a. Oh.
Come on.
Or hammers.
Oh my God.
The hammer is my penis.
How about swords? I mean,
I'm into rods and staves.
okay. We're having
Moving on, moving on.
serious. We're having a serious chat. All right. We're having you just poured serious tea. You come on.
Anyway, and we killed Angela. Great.
Twice.
But listen, if we're going to go into this fight, and if we're going to do it right, and if we're going to have the literal world depending on us, we're going to need to be able to count on each other. Can we do that? And by we, I mean the two of you.
I'm fine.
Oh, bullshit.
I stand at the back and I shoot things. You can rely on me to stand at the back and shoot things.
I also need to be able to rely on you to keep an eye on what we need to keep an eye on, and not one of our teammates.
What was I not doing that with the Manticore yesterday?
That's not the point. That's not the point we're making.
I just said I have previous. You know?
I went to Hal and I'm like, all right, dear, go for it.
Yes, that's not the point we're making. The point you did amazing on Manticore. Thank you so much.
Your mother and I are worried about you.
Yes, the point we are making is that there are more people in this team, and I will throw myself into the way of any damage that comes towards you.
Yeah, I have noticed that.
Yes, I will. You know why? Because I care a lot about you and you, both of you.
Don't
Too late.
stand in front of me.
Excuse
I've
me?
almost had you die twice, and I will give you all of my life to make sure you walk out of this, any of you.
Why don't
You saw it, so I'm not lying.
Yeah, we
Let's-
also saw what that thing in your head does. So
let's all walk out of this. All of us.
Serena, let our daughter speak. let them speak. Let our child. Let them speak. Let them speak. Yes.
You can't trust me. I'm not even talking about my new head voice. I used to live in a community that really relied on each other, and the Tide Watch, it's a low paying poverty community. It's in City of First Flame, Backfire, whatever. The nobles there are assholes. I took a chance that I shouldn't have taken because I didn't get everybody on board with it, and I caused them to close the Tide Watch at high tide. I'm serious, I've messed this up before.
Life would be a much more miserable place if a person were judged only on their past mistakes and not their potential to grow and learn. That's the deepest thing I'll say in this entire campaign.
that's the one-stop patrolling. The rest is just going to be nub gags.
Yep.
And I will piggyback off of that and say, if the past does not make you somewhat disappointed, you are not growing. And that is not the deepest thing I will say in this campaign. Nim, I want you to know that I appreciate you a lot. Doing that thing for me you did in the hearth was completely unnecessary, bonkers, weird, absolutely off your head.
Nim's off the shits.
Absolutely. And it was not needed. And
You were gonna die. I wasn't gonna let that happen.
and that shows that we can trust you, that there is something in there that does care about us and that does want us to live and move forward and absolutely help the world. So please stop saying that we can't trust you, because we can and we will.
We do.
We do. We do. We do. Do we not, Farron?
I don't.
Then can we at least trust that their intentions are not malicious? We know that what is happening in their head is no fault of their own, and we know that they would love nothing more to be rid of it. Is that not enough for you for now?
I can work with you, but we're a long way away from trust.
That's for the epilogue. It's okay. That's epilogue material.
What is an epilogue?
Oh, don't worry about it.
All right.
It's like when you cut down a tree and then remove all the branches and then stick an EpiPen in it.
I will.
Oh
Look,
my!
I'm sorry.
That was such
Anyway,
a reach.
That was
That was
Anyways.
such a reach.
Anyways. Yes.
Is that thing still in your head?
I don't know. That's the thing, is when I cast that spell, there's a chance for it to go wrong. Not in the way that it won't work, in the way that it could also open me up for other things. And when we were in the cave and I cast that spell and you said that was fucking badass and I got a little bit distracted, I didn't say anything because I heard a voice, but I don't know, because there's more than that in there.
But you don't hear it now.
No, I haven't since the end of the fight, and I blacked out.
Okay. I can work with that, I suppose.
I can... Lydia can read minds, so maybe I can ask her.
And let's not forget, Nim was instrumental in our last victory.
When?
Actually, that's the point. How did that thing tether you to the portal?
I did. I mean, it was stuck in my head. I don't... There are abilities that I can get, or that I have, that they come with drawbacks. They can do big things, but they come with a cost. Sometimes it's a toss-up. Lady of Change just wasn't with me on that one. So I don't know how the magic works. I don't know what their magic can do. I mean, obviously that, which is why I wasn't sure that I should go with you, because if you can trust me on anything, you can trust me to say that I'm being honest. It's not that I wasn't going to be before, I just wasn't 100% sure until Lydia spoke in my head, so...
Didn't y'all mention someone dangling the possibility of nullifying this?
I mean, Lydia said that maybe if we won, but she didn't say anything afterwards. I don't know.
Perhaps it is something we can address in the morning.
That'd make things easier.
It would make things easier.
Yeah.
And not only for the sake of you or for the sake of us, but for the sake of everything. It's not just the four of us that are at stake right now.
I mean, I can usually go along with helping you guys until you mentioned that thing. And then I'm like, I messed up an entire community once. I don't.
And have you messed up another one? Because not that I can remember.
You actually saved one today.
It's true. Actually, multiple. And we're about to save another one.
Are we?
We're about to save the goddamn world.
Are we?
You
Yes,
don't have
Farron,
trust.
we are.
You don't have trust that we're gonna beat this thing. If you,
Affirmations,
It's not
children.
about
Affirmations.
trust.
what
Like,
is it about? What is it about? What
it's
is it?
about the fact that up until now we've been getting through by the skin of our teeth and dumb luck.
That's
Do you
what
really think? Do you really think walking in there half cocked with a plucky attitude is going to get us through it?
I think that our teeth still have more skin, which is the worst thing I'll ever say.
No, actually, it's fine.
We can start by
Please.
talking to Lydia and seeing what solutions she has. If not, we'll go and do what we have to do. If she does, we'll do what we have to do, but be a little bit better off for it.
It's
We're gonna die either way.
Hold on. Farron, what is your concern right now?
we can't afford to fail, but it just feels like that's what we're destined to do.
No. I will not accept that with all the gifts we have been given, everything we've received, all the help that has come our way, that we are destined to fail. No. That is something that not only I can't afford out of perspective of these gods actually contacting us, I can also not afford that in a perspective of myself. I can't fail there. I can't fail. We cannot fail, and we will not fail.
But if we do,
If we do, then we know that we have tried our damn best, that we have the best intentions for this world, and that people will come after us and absolutely make it right. But they won't. They won't. Because we won't fail. It's impossible. It's possible, but it's impossible. Please.
okay, that doesn't make a lick of sense.
Please.
This is an inspirational speech, Farron. Shut up.
Please understand when I say that if you go into something knowing you'll fail, you're gonna fail. But if you're going into something actually believing that you're gonna set something right, maybe there's a chance you will. There's a bigger chance that you will. And I want us all, everyone, every single one in this room, I want every one of y'all to remember that and hold on to that. Because it's important. It's important what we're going to do here today. And if you're going in there thinking you're going to fail, we can't afford that.
And besides, the great Farron doesn't fail. They just come back to succeed later.
If that's not the fucking truth. Oh my God.
I wish it were the truth.
The four of us
It
are here
is,
for a
though.
reason.
Farron, have you seen yourself? You decimated that manticore. I had a front row seat, and I am sorry that I was the reason that you couldn't do that faster. you've this whole time, you don't miss. I grew up with hunters, you don't miss. Why do you think you're gonna miss?
Because it wouldn't be the first time.
Okay, if I get to say this wouldn't be the first time I messed up and got a bunch of people hurt, and they're saying that no, we can do this, then no, I went into every fight knowing that I could and possibly would go down. I've gone down several times before I met all of you. I didn't believe I do anything. I believe you do something. All three of you. I just had to keep you up long enough.
This is gonna suck, y'all. But you know what? It's gonna suck in a fun way. Not like that.
Phrasing.
Maybe like that. Maybe
If
like
Serena actually said that, jeez.
Look, I get it. I grew up in the shadow of someone who is more capable than I will ever be. But that's why I'm here. Strike out on my own, make a name for myself, and find three very worthy, very capable adventurers who accidentally decide to save the world with me.
You saved me from probably literally getting stepped on because of a really bad social blunder, but
I snarked at a planar emissary, and I'm pretty sure I pissed her off.
yeah, but you got away with it. I
Sure
probably
did.
wouldn't have.
You'd be fine. But look, I think at least that the four of us are together for a reason. Because the Firebird brought us together.
Oddly still works in character, actually.
Yeah.
It's the amazing part about that comment.
We are not down for the count just yet. We've accomplished amazing things, even without all the boons that have been granted to us by my area and her area, I say pointing at Haurian. There would not be such an amount of confidence placed in us if we have not already proven ourselves to be worthy of it. All we gotta do is take this just a little bit further. Not that we have
Yeah.
much of a choice because we already said that we're going, but
Yeah, excuse me. I've been deemed the undying fire lily. If that is not a title that I'm gonna live up to, I don't want it.
So wait a minute. When did that happen? That was when I was like
my
either
dreams.
dying or fall. Oh. Okay.
No, it happened.
No,
The
I
phrase-
trust
the-
you. I have 3 gods. I trust you completely. I have 3 gods and probably 15 other things in my head. I trust you.
I appreciate that in this context, the phrase "in my dreams" works both as like a character, like meaningful
Yes.
moment, but also
Mhm.
like fits this theme of anxiety the entire party has. It's like,
Yep,
in my
yep.
dreams, I'm awesome.
Yes, absolutely. And I do like, I show them the sword that is absolutely like glowing bright red, and I'm like, I got this from my god to show my strength and to show my prowess. I'm not gonna let that go to waste. We're gonna do stuff. I'm waving around the sword. We're doing stuff. We're gonna do stuff. I will not believe that we will go down on that
and you
day.
know what? If we do go down, we'll go down in the battle of a goddamn lifetime.
Exactly. And we'll go down with each other. That's actually
Thank God you said with.
I was
Sure. Yep.
I wasn't gonna say it.
hate you all.
Just waiting for which one of you would make the face.
It was gonna be me or Jen. You knew it.
I
I knew. I
hate it.
knew. It was just a matter of the
Yeah.
beat that would land on.
Yeah, no. I look around the table and say, I hate you all. I hate you all for thinking that. Get your mind out of the gutter. Out of
No.
the gutter. Get out of it.
I feel like it's funnier for the moment as a nice like tension break for everything that
Yes.
like you like Howdian saw the look that all of the players actually
Yeah.
made. All the characters made the look and were like just trying to hide it. And it's a
Yep.
moment of Howdian just be like,
Yep. But yes, we will go down with each other. And that is something that I would love more than anything else in this world. You have
As long as someone's around to sing about it later.
yes. Excuse me. And otherwise I will to like Abira. I'll sing her ears off. Like I don't care.
And if we survive, imagine what we will have accomplished.
Imagine the tales that will be told.
The one thing I do want to say is how I know you'll do everything to keep us up. I get that. We're going to do this, but I want to say, as someone who didn't say goodbye to their best friend, just in case, please do.
I wasn't gonna leave it out for sure. But thank you for reminding me. My head gets fuzzy sometimes.
So
Yeah.
Serena, I don't think you're in the shadow of anyone right now, except for maybe the Giants, but they literally
they're pretty
just said
tall. They're
thank
pretty tall.
Yeah, but they also literally just said thank you to you
It's
and
true.
all of us. So I don't think you got to worry about that shadow.
I could go home in a blaze of glory, or I could just keep wandering.
Yeah, I've
See
been
what's
thinking
across the
about that
ocean.
too. No, there's
Ocean's
still
okay.
something.
No, I now have a slightly sentient flower to take care of.
I mean, and Farron, you know every community we've been through is going to remember your name. Here, Darrow River Pod, even people back in Chantico. They already know.
And whoever doesn't, they're gonna soon.
Yeah, but I mean also like several planar emissaries now that know that
Oh, yeah.
Farron is a smartass, but also that
Aren't we all?
you've already helped in 2 places that they asked you to. You didn't let anyone down.
Just want to see my old man one last time. If I am gonna die.
You want to try and stop by home?
Have we even got the time?
We'll make the time. If we're going by cosmic taxi, we can make the time.
God, Zeta's gonna hate me.
No, they're not.
Well, I mean, maybe, yeah, they're probably not, but that's kind of worse occasionally.
So
Hold on. Nim, those are very nice things that you said about us. I do want you to know that you have saved me on several occasions, and that you're capable of great things, and I hope you know that. You're not dead weight here. Never will be.
Yeah, I just
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to come to terms with that. I understand. Like in this small time that we're having, tea that we're having. Uh, but keep it in the back of your mind, please.
no, I mean literally, I'm not gonna be able to swing that hammer for much longer, and I know it. And I'm probably not gonna see my best friend. Best person.
Burson.
Yes.
Perhaps even if they are of some sort of bird folk variety, burpson.
Oh
Burbzona?
no, this is the fiend
Burbsona.
fire burb. I will say one name, Temerity.
Oh, your friend. Good.
Excuse me.
Okay,
Fiend touched? Yeah, fiend touched.
Yes, fiend touched.
this has all gotten pretty maudlin. Do you mind if I go have a couple minutes by myself?
Sure.
Don't die.
You're your own person.
We're about to go walking into a ungodly galactic battle. Like, dying here's the least of my worries.
Don't forget to get a good 8 hours of sleep. Be home before dark. And I expect you up for breakfast.
I stand up like very politely, and I'm like I look at Serena. I'm like I'll be right back. I'm just I'm just gonna take a stroll through town, looking for my friend in particular.
Yeah.
I'm gonna head out to the gardens.
So I will handle each of these one at a time. Because first, Serena, the rest of the night, unless there's something else you'd like to accomplish, we can by pure GM fiat. If you wanted to say you had the Oracle's Crest and you wanted to use its abilities, and you wanted to think about a question potentially with what it can do, because for audience benefit, the Oracle's Crest is essentially lets them, depending on how many ability points they use, ask a question about the past, present, or potential future of a thing or a place. And I will answer 100% honestly and with full detail. So the other folks, I will need to like try and address them in one by one. But if you would like, I can give you the space for that.
Oh my, oh boy. I probably have something. I'm gonna need a minute though.
Yeah, okay. I will do this one at a time. I'm going to start with Nim, because this is one that I want Nim to have the choice taken care of. So that Nim gets to also delight in something else that's happened this session. Nim, where are you at in the middle of all of this? Are you staying in the residence where you're all at, or do you also go for a walk?
They're probably staying by the hearth.
As you feel the warmth of the hearth nearby, you hear the sound of what seems like a teaspoon just clinking against a cup and like a saucer. Like, your friend makes kind of nice tea. I don't know why the other one was complaining about their cooking, about her cooking rather.
Oh.
And you see this like little delightful looking halfling kind of individual there that Nim, you don't even have to wonder. You know Ida's presence. And she's there. So, that was exciting. She has a little bit of like a bouncy energy about her.
Yeah, exciting.
Well, I mean, you know, it helps me And I imagine it helps you too not to think of it as, that was terrible, this is bad, oh God, we nearly died, I nearly betrayed my friends, I think terrible about myself and I don't do enough. You know, exciting's a good stand-in word for it.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Would you prefer I say interesting? I have a couple of words that I use whenever I'm talking to the other deities, when I want to say something but not actually say something. I can give you a list.
Wait, do you tattle on me to both the Lady of Chains and the Loving Guardian?
Oh, we talk shop all the time.
Ah, crap.
Would you want to hear what they have to say?
Do I have a choice?
I mean, you always have a choice. You have a choice to even give a shit about what I say. Faith is always a choice in terms of where you go in it. The leap is sometimes a little bit more difficult, but faith asks us not to suspend the fears or any of that, but just ask us to make the choice to believe sometimes when things are hard to believe in, even ourselves.
I never stop believing in any of you. I'm silly like that.
You're devoted like that. Devotion's an interesting thing when you don't always have the kind of head that people assume is capable of that kind of thing, or that people put much stock in. But you see her just sort of bouncing, and she takes a sip, and then she like hops off the couch. Whoop. And she's very small. Like I think actually might even be shorter than Nim.
Yeah, she's shorter than Nim because Nim's a little. Nim's over
Nim's
4
on the
feet.
taller side, comparatively on the taller side.
They're half goblin, halfling,
Yeah,
quarterling,
so they're like,
maybe.
Yeah, we've said like quarterly. Damn it, Gabriel. So they're like, yeah, they're probably like a good like 4 feet or something like that. I think we've said before. But you see her go, well, I have a gift for you. Everyone else has been getting gifts. You should be getting one too.
Lydia said you also had a job. Also, wait,
Well,
didn't
yes.
you gave me a gift?
Yeah, this is part of the gift.
Oh, okay.
You see her just have appear in her hand the ingot of what looks like a red, yellow, and orange crystalline kind of metal. Like, do you know what it means to keep the hearth going? Do you know what it means to even be the hearth keeper?
You serve your family, whatever that family is.
That's one way. But I not only tend to the fire of a home, though that's, being entirely honest, the one I prefer I get to spend the most time in. You see her just kind of fluttering about the kitchen. She's just like someone who's just kind of like appeared and like looking at the different shelves and the spices. She's like looking at some things. Oh, it's been a while since I've gotten to see that variety. It's only a giant variety. Oh, get back to that later. Actually, maybe Sahira could come in and take care of that for me. Never mind. But no, this isn't the fire of the home. Isn't the only hearth that needs stoking. Sometimes the hearth and the flame of those who are strong in combat. Sometimes the hearth of our very spirits and souls need tending to and need care and affection. To keep the hearth is to keep hope and to keep comfort and care for those who feel they do not have it. And loath as I am to admit it, and you see her like spread her arms out, and you watch as the entire room around you fades away, and you reappear, and you see all around you, lining the walls, you see iron, steel, cobalt, various kinds of metals formed into plates, into links of chain. You see armor and helms, you see hammers, you see blades, you see various weapons and such that have been forged throughout perhaps all of time itself. And keep the hearth of even the blacksmith safe and warm. And Nimian, I believe it is time that you be allowed to indulge in this once again safely. Know that all the materials are here, and you see sprays like just splayed out across long tables. There are bits of even additional like leathers from and pelts and things from various animals. All the materials and metals and such, all of the hammers, the files to work with, and iron, and even the cooling stations and such for everything. All I ask in terms of what can be made from this forge, from this hearth, unnecessary though I wish that it was, is to answer one question. Do you wish to strike down those who would hurt you and your friends, or do you wish to protect them? Which do you focus on now, and do you need now more? The choice is yours.
I want to protect them.
Then so it shall be. And Nim, it feels, if it's okay for me to describe it as such, it feels like your hands are, you sort of lose control of them, but it doesn't feel like someone is piloting you. It's more like it's the equivalent of how I imagine like being a musician and like out of game stuff. Like when I don't play my guitar for a long time, but then I finally get a session back of getting into the hobby, playing it again. It's very much like that feeling of reclaiming something that has felt like you haven't been able to do in a while, and your hands will move. Hammer. You hear the as different metals are cooled or melded or formed, and you are able, in what feels like but moments, but must in fact be hours upon hours, form glittering, radiant, red, orange, and yellow crystalline armor. That the detailing on it looks as though it's the very spread of the divine bird's body itself. But you notice all across it there are, even though you, depending on what metals you use, it might not make sense in some points. The coloration at some spots looks like there are things of gold, of bronze, of silver, of various things one might call change, or things that are exchanged for currency. The mark of the deities to whom you swear devotion are with you as you make this mail, as you make this armor. And in choosing to protect them, you have gained the Terror Bane armor. Essentially what this does, you can use some of rather substantial, it's 4 ability points, to throw an orb of light at nearby enemies to deal 4 damage to them, up to 2 enemies. Or 5 ability points, you can summon the courage that has long been lost to you in moments to face that which is fearful and deny it presence for you and your friends. Essentially, should any of you or your allies be struck with a fear effect, you can spend 5 on your turn and get rid of it immediately. Your friends do not lose their turn. It is mail crafted for the explicit purpose to hold back that which is fear and that which would keep the hearth cold.
Aww.
So that was a lot of work. So, still feeling like pretty bad about all of this?
I don't know that I believe in myself, but I believe in them.
And they believe in you. So that's good enough. And that's definitely good enough for me. Or do you not trust me? She moves up to you the way that Alfenia, all the way back in Chantico, does the kind of like cheek grab, but it's just like her finger pointing. It's like, hmm,
I trust you.
good. Then let me remove this burden as well. And you watch as she, if it's okay with you, she places her hand like right on, a little bit lower than the collarbone, like right around the chest, and moves the hand to cover your heart. And you feel this pinkish sort of energy just be pulled from you, like someone pulling out the liquid of like a poison from your body. Gonna make sure that does not stick around any longer. She kind of just she moves it around almost like Play-Doh, and like she's just tossing it up and down. It's like, I can't talk very big when you can't host someone, huh? And you hear like the growl, like you hear the voice like in anger, and it's like, not this time, and like crushes it, and it's gone. That's the most I can do for you, Nim. Whatever trust or mistakes that happen from this point onward are yours to deal with. They will not be by this thing's hand.
I'm great at making mistakes.
Good. I'm sure Sahira, Lady of Change, will appreciate you making more mistakes. Mistakes are interesting. They lead to growth. It's how you learn how you figure out what materials actually work for a fire. Have you ever seen what it was like to try and make the first fire? I made so many mistakes. I'm still anxious about it to this day. Whew. See her like hold up her hands. Why do you think these hurt all the time? You see, like you actually see there are significant burn marks on her hands and around her wrists. Even gods bleed, and especially even those who would claim to be a god.
You know, this is scarier coming from someone who's actually shorter than me for once.
She does like a very like attempts to be like comforting, but probably doesn't land. Pet on the head. It's like, didn't say I was always the best at the whole comfort thing either, but I think it's time you rest. And really, Nim, even if you don't believe it now, give them the space to let you grow to believe that folks believe in you and they trust you and you deserve it. Otherwise, I'm coming back and I'm bringing more company. You just see her just start trotting off towards the hearth, and you see like it almost looks like she walks into the flame and she's gone. Farron, you didn't think I forgot about you, did you? Farron.
Good luck.
The evening is relatively uneventful for you, walking around, but you said the gardens, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. As you go through, you see, as you're sort of going by, there's probably things like quinoa, there's potatoes growing, there's a lot of like leguminous things that are starting to flourish. It looks as though they might be changing out some things in some plots, and you see that there's a pair of individuals there. One who also has a rather Twinkie kind of build, but is a little bit older. Probably like young, more in the range of like young dad kind of vibe, but not super older. But like if you were, it looks as though there's a kid nearby, and he looks pretty young for being a dad. And you see that there's also like very extremely muscular, like very fit, like probably someone who's worked and tended to the fields for a long time, like orcish man, very prominent tusks. And you see them talking, and they say, "Wait, I'm sorry." You see the orcish individual kind of come up with like a little trickiness to trying to get the words out. Like, I'm sorry. Are you Farron by any chance?
J.exe stopped working. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Adrian and I, we just wanted to thank you.
I
My name is Artok. I've lived in here for only a few weeks, and I've worried a lot, honestly, about how sustainable this place is. And when I heard that there was some dangerous things out in the mountains, I was worried that we might have to leave again. He's been doing his best to calm me down. Just trying to remind his husband that, you know, don't be so anxious all the time. And then remembers, oh wait, that doesn't help to tell me that.
yeah, I know that feeling.
We just like stumbling like he's also very tall on the snow. He's like 6'5", 6'7" ish.
It's like a
And
full foot taller.
yeah, and like Adrian is probably only about like 5'8", 9 max. Adrian just sort of like steps forward. Honey, it's okay. I promise. Like here, I can tell them. And it's like, look, Artok's not always the best with words. He knows that, but we just wanted to say thank you. And you see the kid off in the distance, probably fiend touched, not look like them. It's been a little troubles throughout bits of our life. We tried to make it in the city. A lot of the expectations about doing work there didn't pan out, and honestly, we've had a good amount of people who didn't really expect much of us. But we've been having to start here, and I just wanted to say thank you. Really.
Yep. You're welcome. Do you know if there's space around here to plant something?
Yeah, sure. Do you need any gear? Do you need anything, trowel or what have you, to work with the soil?
If you've got one, that'd be very much appreciated.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Artok's actually the one who likes doing this the most. I'm more of just checking in on a lot of folks. I do a lot of the community like care and check in. I go around, I ask a lot of folks how things are going, and just make sure everyone's anxieties are a little calmed down. Artok's takes up a lot of my time, but he worries about everything. Honey, I don't worry about everything, just anything.
Oh, that's far too relatable.
And you just see Artok, big, menacing kind of figure, depending on how you look at him, is so gentle with moving things on the ground. And there's occasionally, as they're like helping teach you or give you some space to do that, there's like occasional like they do the look for anyone who's been in a partnership with anyone or just had affection towards folks. It's that look of like when someone kind of like sees sunshine coming out of you, even if it's your shittiest day. They just have that kind of look. Hey, if you want, we don't know how long you're staying or what have you, but if you ever want to come over for dinner, we can give you a nice meal. And even if you're not going to stay for very long, we're more than happy to set aside a plot and tend to it for as long as you need until you come back.
That would be wonderful. Thank you. Try not to cry, I don't want to ruin my eyeshadow.
Can't cry in this club right now. I look too good.
So why are you tilting your head back? My foundation costs $48.
But yeah, unless there's anything too specific you want to accomplish with the planting of things.
Just planting yet another one of my trees.
Oh, right, because of the seeds. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. I almost forgot about those. Yeah, the tree is planted, and it looks as though it'll take some time, but it will be ready for you when the time is right. Howdian. I know we're getting near the end of sort of our time. We'll probably go over, if it's okay with Nova, like maybe shooting for 10 to 15. Might need a little bit more than that. We'll see. But this is kind of one of our last times together, everybody. So let's just make it real big. But Howdian, you go, you wander around. You get sort of the opposite vibes of what Farron gets, in that there's a lot of elven folk in particular who see you, and there's a camaraderie kind of like, yeah, she is. She's the champion, the fire lily. She lives. She's great. There's like it's very reminiscent of when you arrived in Chantico, of just folks who are very much a vibe of like, we fucking lived, let's party kind of like vibe.
Yes, and so I do go like, yes, we do live. We live another day, another beautiful day.
And there is food, there is drink, there is festiveness all around for however much you want to indulge in. And Nalani is there for anything you would like to convey to her. She is, because of her size, willing to move some distance away to give you privacy, because she's a big lady and she speaks with presence. So she needs some space to private conversation.
Yeah, I probably like enter this party and I get like a drink shoved into my hand, and then like a chicken leg or something, and I kind of like, I don't know what to do with them, and I like shuffle over to Nilani, and I look up at her and I say, can we
Yes.
go a little bit? Okay. And so I kind of lead her down the path a little bit. I actually just go on a little bit of a stroll with her. And I say I didn't I didn't come here for a fun conversation.
I assume you're expecting to not make it past whatever you face.
Of course I am. Who do you think I am? No, sadly you're right. I kind of have that drink and that chicken leg still in my head. It's just like, I set the drink down like on a rock somewhere, and I toss the chicken bone like on the open. The birds look at it.
Yeah, you do see a rather large, bigger than usual condor just go fly by and just go.
All right.
Free meat.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on. Sorry, I had something that I needed to answer. So yeah, I now hands empty. I kind of like start, you know, when you're nervous, you start like picking at your nails and like pulling at your fingers, and I go, I hate this. I know we've said goodbye before. I don't want to do that again, but
Then don't. Let's say until next time. There will be a next time.
there might not be. Which I
Yes.
always have in the back of my mind every time I go away.
There will be a next time, whether in this life or the next. I will see you, and I will be there with you.
I'll hold you to that.
And I'll be certain to make sure you remember it and never forget it. Otherwise, I will come back in whatever form necessary in order to remind you quite strongly.
Yes. Yes, I know. If I don't, though,
You will, but if you don't,
yes, if. I want you to know that I really appreciated our company. It was the best part of our growing up, and I would never want to trade anything for that. So thank you so much for being a friend. The only one, actually.
I think you have more friends than you think.
Yeah, now. Back in the day, I didn't. It was weird. I was so weird. People always thought of me as weird.
They did.
They sure did.
And if it's all right with you, I kind of imagine the tail bit of that is her actually disclosing, probably to Howdy and surprise that there were some folk who actually were interested in Howdy and when you were young. But she's only in recent times found out about it because she's the kind of friend who's like, I'm going to find out who's in my girl and I'm going to let her know because she deserves to be reminded. Folks want to be with her.
Oh my god. That is indeed very good. And I'm like, are you sure? We're sure that they weren't lying.
Howdy, do you know how far I can throw things?
Sure do. I sure do.
That's the end of that scene.
Yes.
And Serena. You should probably unmute yourself.
Well, there we go. There's.
Do you have
that,
a thing you want to
that
do
was
or a question you would like to ask?
That was an experience. I do have a question I would like to ask.
Okay.
If we're okay with Serena borrowing the thingy for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I believe was it 3 AP to ask something about a region? Oh no, it's we're gonna do. I'm gonna ask the question, and then you let me know which of the 2 or the 3 AP ones it would be more relevant to, because I could see it being either.
Okay.
My question is, where in Shantico are our enemies planning to execute the plan that we are working to stop?
You feel your sense of consciousness and attachment to this realm fade for a moment. Yourself pulled through what looks like endless ocean of stars and twilight. And you emerge in a realm of roiling flame, of seas and crashing waves of fire and divine light. And you hear nearby you, and then see yourself on top of the very crown of a massive bird. The very bird of creation itself, Ignis. And you see this being growing tired. The sounds having grown up in nature, Serena recognizes the sound of it, perhaps an animal that is beginning to lose its energy. And you see that amidst the light, the feathers are dulling in color. The form is very likely near the end of its time. And you watch as the wings spread out, and as they move through the sea, a tear within the plains opens. And you see the bird emerging over the skies of Chantico. But in the midst of emerging, its full form beginning to try and fly down, you see another being. Imagine the way that like ice begins to crack as pressure is put on it, just sort of spindles out all over the place. Amidst the skyline, you see something else slowly forming. A horrifying sight. I need to pull up my image so that I have the exact way to describe this.
And just to break the mood for a second, did I just spend 2 AP or 3? Okay.
You see emerging. I'm going to start, for those who have played Bloodborne, with the top half of this creature is very similar to the way Murgo's wet nurse looks like, or Margot's wet nurse.
I haven't fought that one yet.
Oh.
It's really cool. It's really cool.
It's like...
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes, for anyone who wants to go and look that up, but
Yes.
It looks as though the top half is massive and humanoid, but it's pink. It has the same horrifying appearance that the apostles have, but this is massive. You've heard of ancient worms said to be nearly whole sizes of the quadrant of a city. This its top half rivals the shape of a worm and its size. The area where the face would be is just split open in the way that the gaping dragon's form is, and it looks as though it's like held together by, I don't get to use this word very often, like strands of sinew all across its face. It is pink, but the lower half is perhaps the part of the form that is even more terrifying, in that it looks almost like a massive pinkish worm is consuming the lower half of this creature, and this massive form over the skylines of Chantico looks as though it's heading to try and consume the divine bird you are riding. And you see that as that happens, across the 4 quadrants of the city, there are almost like signal flares of pinkish light, where 4 apostles suddenly rise up and fly, as though raising staffs to hearken the arrival of swarms of ravagers. And you hear a voice, the voice of this creature, speak and say, "I am the father of the abyss. I was forged of chaos itself. Know me as now your new font of creation itself." And
I'm
then
good.
you are thrown back into your body.
Okay. As soon as everyone comes back, I'm going to weave them a thrilling tale of, oh my god, we're all gonna die.
What the hell, dude?
Except we're not going to, because we're gonna kill this thing, but also, ew.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
This is why I mentioned the worms thing and the body horror thing. This is why I was
100%.
emphatically emphasizing
100%.
this point.
Is the like, oh man,
We have to find a way to get
this
up
is
there.
this is what Nim keeps seeing or kept seeing Set scene. Wow.
Words are hard.
Yeah.
Yes. You saw, Nim, you were seeing like the top half of this thing. You never saw the worm part. The worm
Probably
part
for
is
the best.
probably
Yeah,
for
so
the
it-
best.
Yeah, so Nim's just sitting there like, you know what? I saw part of that before, but this just makes that worse somehow, and I know that's not comforting.
It's
Oh.
it's gonna be on a collision course with the Phoenix.
And
Did you see
one-
where it came from?
there was one more detail. Amidst the center of its body, right where the worm's mouth seemingly connects with the top part of its body, at the center, you saw Alia,
There we go.
like a core of this creature.
Um,
I'm just seeing
I-
like the Pokemon movie where Celebi goes
Yeah,
dark
yeah.
side in the middle of that.
Basically,
I think
Oh
I
my
could. Oh
God.
shit, that's my tea.
Oh no.
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Spill
Anyway.
that tea, sis. Not literally, but spill that tea.
I think
Stop that. Everything's fine.
I think I could pick out the area where it emerged, but we have to get there and we have to get there soon. Was it daytime, nighttime?
daytime. Right now it's nighttime, so
Okay.
because it's future, you know, Serena, this has not happened yet.
Right.
And that probably if you rest, even with resting, you'll still have time if you are able to receive some way to get back there quickly
Okay.
to prevent the full onset of this. But you're basically seeing if you lose, this is what you're gonna see happen.
The full fucking.
Pretty much, yeah.
And
Aw,
there is one
dude.
more thing. We already suspected something similar, but do you remember Cosmo's friend Alia?
Yeah. They talked about the abyss.
Yeah, she's like the worm battery.
First of all, what are batteries?
The
There's
Alia is
fucking
the powerhouse of the
artificers.
worm.
Or
the
like
power
or-
source.
The
There's
mitochondria is the powerhouse of
aether-
the cell.
There's aether tech engineers. I'm just calling that a
Yes.
thing because we're not.
All right.
Yeah, it's
All
too
right.
it's
Yeah.
too clear a metaphor and reference.
So basically, the Alia is the powerhouse of the worm.
All right.
Got it.
I hate it, but
But we have to. Nim,
So we
can
kill
you call
her?
on? I suspect we're going to find her first. I wonder if Cosmo's in on it.
Wait, Cosmo gave us those like the weapons and the
Yes.
Uh,
So maybe if we can get to her first.
no. Oh shit.
Oh, yeah, you guys see your crush again one more time, Nim. Enjoy that.
But we should.
The one person in this game.
so
Well, a couple
you-
came close, but still.
basically,
Can
we're
you
gonna
call on
die.
Ida and see if she can get us there?
Yeah, I can do that. And Farron, don't count your eggs before they hatch, chicks. Which one was first?
Don't worry about
no.
it.
Does
It's still
anyone know?
subject, it's still subject to scholarly debate, actually.
Yes. Yes. Very
I
much
couldn't
so.
help it.
Anyway, we're not gonna die. It's gonna be fine. We have help from the big giants. We have help from the sword and the undying.
And we have
fire.
Cosmic Uber.
We
I
have a
mean,
cosmic Uber.
our chances of survival are slim to fucking none. But
Hey, they sure are,
Jin,
but that
do
of
you know
hit-
what? Fuck it. Let's go be heroes.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's reassuring to know that that is the actual attitude you're going to take, Farron. And you see sitting very comfortably
Oh.
on the couch is Zahara.
Damn.
Okay. Is there like some sort of divine doorbell you can press to announce yourself?
I mean, mine don't.
Have you ever known any of us to lack the capacity to have presence when need be? And this claim coming from perhaps one of my newest acolytes with the most showboating.
Yeah, but at least I'll make my presence known instead of just sitting there. How long have you been sat there?
Only a moment.
That means forever, because a moment is wherever the present is.
Oh, jeez.
My brain has already been broken once. I do not need to break it again.
We're really
Hey,
going to
welcome
need
to the
you.
club.
We're really going to need you to at least be somewhat functioning. You do see there is a little halfling individual right next to her.
Nim isn't even surprised. Nim's just like, hey.
Gang's all
What?
here.
I would say for
There-
God's sake, but it's kind of irrelevant at this point.
Oh,
Farron, just be happy you're not friends with 3 of them.
You can add a fourth if you would like, and you see that Abira is also there as well.
fuck. Excuse me.
Okay, Serena, so who's your parent, by the way?
We're both Sahara.
They're siblings.
Oh God, now I'm
Are
nicknaming their
they
mother.
always this talkative?
Yes.
I mean, you could just ask Ida.
They really are. They genuinely are always this inclined to talk. But
Pretty much that's my thing, is talking.
oh yes, I've noticed. Talking and self-deprecation, I've noticed. I also have this in spades.
Okay, so
Um.
about that fireball spell.
Yeah, you've been using it. You're roasting us. Excuse me.
Are you able to get us back to Chintico?
Yes, we have the means to get you there soon. We think it necessary that you take a rest, plan whatever else you need to, make whatever preparations you must tonight, and in the morning we will send you. And
course.
Zahara comes to offer an additional gift as well. We have another acquaintance, for at least one of you, who will be the one to guide you there. The rest of us will offer you what we can in terms of the last gift we have. And you see 2 of the other individuals, 2 of the other gods. I'm going to say, because Ida gave you one through the giants, Zahara will give you one, and Abira will give you one. Each of them gives you an instrument, just a small little woodwind instrument. Play this, and we will come. And those who you have made bonds with, those who you have made connections, will come to aid you. We see the potential for our parent to be harmed, and we are taking the steps necessary to grant you the strength to withstand what comes. We cannot manage all of the threat, but we can give you the means to at least ensure the city will not fall.
We will do our best to prove worthy of these gifts. We'll take this thing down.
Here, Abir talk. Good. I like this attitude. Just courage,
It just
backed by
looks.
actual experience.
I just look sideways at Serena. It's like,
Oh, it's all bluster and hope, but like, come on. Let's go into it with a can-do attitude.
With courage and power. Indeed.
Serena, I know the rest of us are really bad at doubting too much, but you're allowed to feel hopeless. That doesn't mean that it can't be done.
Oh, I'm scared shitless, but
I
we're gonna
know.
do it anyway.
That's the fucking spirit. That's the spirit. That's
I'm
what I
gonna-
like to hear.
I'm gonna die surrounded by the 3 biggest fucking idiots on the plane.
At least
You're
at the very
right.
least fools.
Yes, you are right. We're
And-
gonna be surrounded by 3 idiots as well.
If you want 4, I can get a mirror
yeah.
for you.
Do you know what? I deserve that.
Burn, 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 burn everywhere.
You know I love
Burns.
all of you.
Yes.
You
Still
know
not as badly
Serena
burnt
cast-
as your eggs.
Aaron, what was that you said before? If I'm going to go, I'm going to go do it or not come back at all?
Did I say that?
You said
Yeah,
something
Probably.
like that.
before you left the Giants.
What the fuck was I thinking?
You were thinking in
You were
saving-
thinking like me, which was the problem.
And as a last closure to scene, so because we are already like 20 minutes over and I want to give us time for
Shit.
outros and not be too much more,
Mhm.
You will have the capacity, players and town folks for the lot, players will have the capacity to plan over anything else. If you have any other questions of the abilities, the deities will refill you to 15 AP
That's so sweet.
based off of all you've done. And you will have, and when you are ready, either the next morning or that evening, likely the next morning because you'll get to recharge and get everything, you will see outside of your home one new figure. This one you haven't seen before. She has very deep black skin, very kind of cool tones to it, much almost like moonlight gracing the top of a lake at night. Her hair is sort of in like, I'm trying to remember, I think it's like a heavens braid. I'm trying to remember the exact one. I think it's like a crown braid around her head, but it goes downwards and it splits into 5 braids that seem to have bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and a mysterious other metal that seems to have no relevance in this world, but perhaps it had relevance in another. And you see the appearance of this figure is very familiar all of a sudden to Farron, because Farron met this individual when they were coming into Chantico their first day on the caravan. Well, it's good to know that the trick shot has maintained their reputation. Greetings, everyone. I am Sayra, the Lady of Change. I thought I had placed good bets on putting my stock in you, trick shot, but it seems as though Zahara has won you over. I think no less of it.
It's just like, I've still got the coin. But I'm very rarely speechless, but
At my last count, and you see her all of a sudden just like playing around with what looks like several different gold coins between your fingers. I think you're at about 3 or 4 speechless moments in the past few days, so I don't think that holds true anymore.
I said rarely. Like it's been a while.
And you see her like do a very dramatic, almost over the top kind of like bow and point toward like bow towards the ground, and you see as her hand is moving through the air, it creates a tear. And you see through the rift that's appeared the outskirts of Chantico. When you are ready, trick shot, small one, fire lily, guardian of
Other
nature.
one.
No,
My wife.
I believe Zahara has been looking for a title for you as well. I believe she chose Guardian of Nature.
Oh boy, that's sure something to live up to.
It's
Instead
really
of showing it
cool.
on our character sheet.
Yeah, small one sounds about right. Or as I think someone would put it, yes, to anyone who is not of a absurd height.
What do you mean?
So we
Didn't
all
they-
look
you-
down at Nim, just
I don't forget lines. I didn't forget
and
Farron's.
with-
I'm not going to forget that.
And with that, you see your final destination. The cycle ends where it began. The circle completes in Chantico. And this is where we will end the session here today as the party prepares for the final confrontation with the Apostles of Anathema and the Father of the Void itself.
Yikes.
Thank you, everyone, who've stuck
My
around for this
goodness.
very long session. This was a lot more feelings than I thought this was going to be a really short session,
Yeah,
but
no.
we all had feelings.
Hmm.
Holy shit.
And we had to get 'em out.
I almost said Father of the Abyss. It's that's where I am.
Yep.
Yeah, hashtag Manus or
Mhm.
Manus. But
Yep.
with that being the case, we'll quickly do outros because thank you everyone who stuck through here because we've had actually a few more
Thank you.
people on this tune in for the stream than we've had usually. So Thank you to my fantastic players for all of the feelings and moods. This was probably one of my favorite sessions we've had in this entire campaign, and I've had a couple that were really good.
It was excellent.
Yes.
With that being the case, hype where we can find you, and what any projects you're involved with. I will do mine real quick. I'm Angela. You can find me on Twitter at Phoenix24Fem or over on Patreon Philosophem, where I'm a professional writer and poet. 150 pieces up, half of which are available for public viewing. Most of my streaming commitments are actually done now, unless you want to catch VODs for Royal Flush, a Wildcard Adventure over on YouTube for the All Nerds Here Twitch channel, or the VODs for the Chimera RPG that happened over on Utopia. I'm in the midst of looking for new spots to either GM or more than likely be a player for a campaign and for next season and the next year, because next week will be almost the end of the year and our last session if things carry on. So 2020 is almost over, everyone. This motherfucking year is almost done. You can finally say goodbye to this terrible, terrible year. But Musician for Hire, I do culture writing and writing on a whole bunch of different stuff, design creatures. I do far too many things for my own good. That's me. I'm Angela. Thank you. Next up, somebody, or else I'll call.
Fine. I'll go because words, if I don't get them out now, I won't be able to because I'm an emotional wreck. Thank you, Angela. Hi everyone. I have been Jace, your now emotionally drained and distraught ranger for this campaign. You can find me on pretty much any social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at Ace Trainer Jace. And there's other things as well, but brain cannot process words. So someone else go. That's all I've got.
Yeah. I got you. I got you. Hi, everyone. It's me, your very bestest friend, Inez. Also, for me, words are hard. I don't want to stray on too long, but thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for everything. I'm like, I know this is the penultimate episode, but I just want to thank everyone who's also in here for putting such a cool campaign up. It's been so fun, and I'm so excited for next week. Let's see. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Inez666. You can find me mostly on Twitter, where I voice my thoughts, everything that goes up in here. So I'll probably be screaming after this. It's fine. You can find me on Twitch, where I'll probably be going back to streaming real soon, which is also at Inez666. And let's see. Oh yeah, I'm doing a podcast probably in the beginning of next year, which is called the People of Passion podcast, where I will be talking to people who have passions and who like to talk about things in a long manner. So if you want to participate in that or whatever, there's an application form on my Twitter in the pinned tweet. So I hope to see you there. Good night. I love you all. Trans rights, all that stuff. I love you.
Next.
All right.
I was trying to time it to do a yeet with you. It didn't work.
Well, you know what? I appreciate the yeeting. Hi guys, I have been Jen, your lovely, decreasingly local naturalist, Serena. I can be found over on Twitter at JenBirb. That is JIENBIRB, not to be confused with Fireburb, our lovely GM. Who we love, even though she breaks our hearts into millions of little pieces. Yeah, little pieces. But yeah, other than this, I play publicly, at least, on Saturday nights on twitch.tv/plothunters. We are an all-POC game. It is a delightful time. We're going through the Tyranny of Dragons module. I will at some point be looking for more D&D/TTRPG stuff. Not necessarily right now, because I'm currently booked up with all but one day of my week is TTRPG. That's a lot, so we'll leave it till the beginning of next year. But yeah, that's me.
Gabriel, you're next. It's a preview of next week for the
void calls for you all.
I believe I also said this in earlier episodes, so I guess this is very relevant. Catch me next time, bitch. This channel. Next Monday, because this is going to be great, apparently, as the voice in my head tells me. So I am at Starless Solid, all one word, on Twitter. Also Starless_solid on Twitch. I've been in the chat bugging people. And you can find me mostly on Twitter. I will be doing some more things on Patreon. I will for once disclose that my TikTok is at Lily Brightshield, because this character is probably going over there after this game. And I will also say, as me and my disabled date mate are both currently working really hard to stay in our apartment. My date mate stuff is over on Facebook at Crochet and Dagger, all one word. Also on Instagram, Crochet and Dagger, which is a great name because they make wonderful cloaks, which I have been hiding behind all game. And they do armor and that I will be wearing next week because they have made me a silver breastplate and silver hand warmer gauntlets, which are super helpful. So please, honestly, check them out. They do really cool things. I also occasionally do chainmail over there, and I am planning on doing some chainmail and scale mail patchwork pieces that will hopefully be going up soon. I just need to get my hands to work again. So thanks very much. I hope to see you over on Twitter, and I hope to see you all in another game soon. I am also following Jen Burb's example of I need to wait till next year because disability is a thing. That's why we're on this channel. So you matter, all of my friends with mental and physical disabilities, Black Lives Matter, Black Trans Lives Matter, and all of my LGBT, POC, and friends, people friends. I love you.
All right, and with that being the case, thank you everybody. We are gonna head out, and we will see you next week for the finale of Plains of Providence, the Quest RPG campaign here on the Heroes Without Limits Twitch channel. Take care, everyone.
See you next week. Bye. 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 I love you. Goodbye. Goodbye. We love you. I love you. Goodbye.